If you thought Pope Francis couldn't possibly make it any clearer that he's a false prophet who's actively working to subvert Christianity, you'd be wrong. If you thought the Pope, who replaced the conservative Pope Benedict in a globalist coup orchestrated by Obama, Clinton and Soros, couldn't possibly find yet more shameful ways to portray his followers, you'd be wrong again. Brace yourself, because Pope Francis has voiced his support of people who molest children being openly accepted into mainstream society. Pope Francis has outdone himself this time, putting his satanic cards on the table in the most shameless way possible as he joins the globalist elite's war against our children. Before we dive in, subscribe to the People's Voice Rumble channel if you haven't already, join the People's Voice Locals community to join our incredible team, and check out the brand new free speech forum at community.thepeoplesvoice.tv. Pride Festival organisers must get over their prejudices and include paedophiles in the LGBTQI+ rainbow community, according to Pope Francis, who claims that we must not judge so-called paedosexuals who are sexually attracted to children until we've walked a mile in their shoes. Francis argues that we must retire the word paedophile because it stigmatises those who are sexually attracted to children and claims that their behaviour can be moral. Francis is said to be encouraging Pride organisers to follow Old Dominion University Professor of Sociology Alan Walker, whose book, A Long Dark Shadow, Minor Attracted People and Their Pursuit of Dignity, was written to promote paedophile acceptance. Walker explained the rationale behind his thoughts while taking questions in a recent live stream.
I use the term minor attracted person or MAP in the title and throughout the book for multiple reasons. First of all, because I think it's important to use terminology for groups that members of that group want others to use for them. And MAP advocacy groups like Before You Act have advocated for use of the term MAP. They've advocated for it primarily because it's less stigmatizing than other terms like pedophile.
Pope Francis's pro-paedophile position has outraged victims of clerical sex abuse, and understandably so. Survivors reacted furiously after Francis refused to promise a zero-tolerance approach to paedophile priests and the bishops who cover up their crimes as he closed a summit at the Vatican.
Questo documento, io me lo sono letto parte per parte. Non c'è un nome, non c'è una data, non c'è un provvedimento concreto. Sono solo parole. Parole.
Pope Francis's comments caused a storm in the Vatican. But those who've been paying attention to Francis's increasingly evil behaviour should not be remotely surprised. This is the Pope who kicked off his papacy by declaring the Bible was wrong and evolution and the Big Bang Theory are real. This is the Pope who urged humanity to put its faith in World Economic Forum founder Klaus Schwab, declaring that he is now more important than Jesus Christ, and the man with the plan to restore nature to its position of primacy in the world order. This is the same Pope who takes every opportunity to declare the biblical corpus needs to be updated by Schwab's godless WEF. As an agenda contributor at the WEF, Pope Francis is fluent in blasphemy and is actively working to subvert Christianity and promote globalist causes. This is the same Pope who threw his weight behind the technocratic mRNA rollout, declaring that Christians who refuse to be injected with the mRNA gene therapy are heretics, who will be judged harshly by God. In July, Pope Francis invited former US President Bill Clinton and Alex Soros to meet him at his private residence at the Casa Santa Marta. Ye shall know them by their fruits, according to Matthew 17:6. And the trio spent the afternoon discussing globalist priorities, including the need to depopulate the earth. Pope Francis's inverted version of Christianity is confusing for many. However, the picture becomes clear when you understand who the pontiff is really serving. Christians have every right to feel deeply betrayed by this Pope, who broke with centuries of Christian tradition when he told his flock that it's dangerous to have personal relationships with Jesus Christ.
C'è chi ritiene di poter avere un rapporto personale, diretto, immediato con Gesù Cristo, al di fuori della comunione e della meditazione della Chiesa. Sono tentazioni pericolose, sono tentazioni dannose. Sono, come diceva il grande Paolo VI, dicotomie assurde.
Which raises the question, is Pope Francis the Antichrist? The globalists are trying to make us all poorer and destroy what's left of the economy. The Biden regime is following all of the WF diktats to the letter. They literally want you to own nothing and pretend to be happy. It's no joke. That's why I recently decided to put a lot of my own savings into precious metals, gold and silver. I don't trust the banks, I don't trust governments, and I don't trust big tech with my hard-earned money. Why? Because the handful of people that I do trust to give me financial advice, Max Kaiser for instance, have all said that gold is the best insurance against inflation and the stock market. So I decided to partner up with our sponsor, Colonial Metals Group. They helped me set up a self-directed IRA, where I have access to all of my assets, no matter what restrictions the government impose on everybody else. Let the team of experts at CMG help you protect your family's future. And viewers of this channel are being given an exclusive offer. Click on the link below this video or call the 800 number and you'll receive a safe and up to $10,000 in free silver. This offer is exclusive to viewers of The People's Voice. The number to call is 888-351-2043. That's 888-351-2043. Or go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/TPV. In 2017, Pope Francis called for a one-world government and political authority, arguing that the creation of a one-world government is needed to combat issues such as climate change. Speaking with Ecuador's El Universo newspaper, the Pope said that the United Nations does not have enough power and must be granted full governmental control for the good of humanity. This includes Americans, he stressed, who according to the Pope must be ruled by a world government for their own good. Now, Pope Francis is actively defying biblical scripture by working to create a one-world religion. In 2019, Pope Francis signed a historic covenant with leaders of the world's major faiths, pushing us much closer to a one-world religion, one of the major goals of the New World Order. According to the document produced by Pope Francis and published on the Vatican's official website, all religions must be considered equal, and Islam is as acceptable to God as Christianity. He then shocked the world by hosting Islamic prayers and Quran recitals in the Vatican, and performed a pagan ceremony in a garden at the Vatican. At this point, you have to ask yourself, what more could Jorge Bergoglio possibly do to convince the world that he was a false prophet? How about broadcasting a ceremony to the entire world, praising Lucifer, heralding his imminent arrival, and following up with a torrent of blasphemous dogma of the satanic variety?
With great pomp, fanfare, and ceremony, Pope Francis, the head of the Jesuit order, announced through his cantor the imminent emergence, the near advent of the coming to light of the Antichrist.
Flammas eius, Lucifer matutinus indeniat, ille inquam Lucifer qui nescito casum, Christus filius tuus, qui regressus ab inferis, humano generis serenus illuxit, et tecum vivit et regnat in saecula saeculorum.
During this pronouncement, the cantor called Lucifer God, claiming Lucifer to be the father of Jesus Christ. The cantor acknowledged Lucifer as the Antichrist himself and worshipped him. To this, a great crowd and the whole world sang, This was the 3D ceremony that the Pope wanted to be seen worldwide. The announcement to the world, the son of perdition, this way comes.
Pope Francis did not make clear the identity of Lucifer, the Antichrist. However, observers in the Vatican claim the Jesuit Pope is referring to himself. From the moment that Cardinal Jorge Bergoglio became Pope in 2013, prophecy experts took to the airwaves, claiming that the new Pope is Peter the Roman, the fulfillment of the prophecy of St. Malachi. and that Francis will be the final pope and the end of the world. According to St. Malachy, an Irish saint who had correctly predicted the past 111 popes ahead of naming the 112th pope, Peter the Roman would be the Antichrist. Doomsday fans have found ways to link each phrase to a corresponding pope through the centuries. That includes John Paul II, who is associated with the phrase number 110 from the labour of the sun, because he was born on the day of a solar eclipse and was entombed on the day of a solar eclipse as well. Benedict XVI, number 111, is supposedly Glory of the Olive, because some members of a branch of the monastic order founded by St. Benedict are known as Olivetans. Then there's number 112. According to St. Malachy, in the extreme persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit Peter the Roman, who will nourish the sheep in many tribulations. When they are finished, the city of 7 hills will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge his people. The end. So, how does Peter the Roman link to Pope Francis, who was born in Argentina? His parents were Italian immigrants from Rome, and his birth name contained the name Peter. Theologians are convinced that Francis is the Antichrist. One leading scholar, Michael K. Lake, is quoted as saying that Catholic and evangelical scholars have dreaded this moment for centuries. The world is now at a tipping point. A battle is raging for the soul of humanity. The globalists and their techno-communist dreams of authoritarian rule threaten to consume humanity and destroy civilization as we know it. Pope Francis has made it more than clear whose side he is on. His disgraceful refusal to punish child-molesting priests and his shameless support for paedophiles to be accepted within society are the final nails in his coffin. We should keep a very close eye on this Jesuit Pope during these critical times. Here at The People's Voice, we are determined to expose the elite and hold them to account before it's too late. Join us in our mission to wake up the masses by subscribing to the channel and joining the People's Voice Locals community to join our amazing team. I hope to see you there. Today's video is brought to you by IPv6ers. Are you a content creator who wants to publish information online without Big Brother spying and censoring your every move? IPv6ers is set to revolutionize the way information is disseminated on the internet by eliminating the need for big tech companies to provide unreliable, overpriced services such as self-hosting, email, and data management. IPv6ers enables an easy and accessible way for you to host your own web and email server with direct end-to-end connections and enhanced security. This means no snooping from Big Brother and no interference from the technocratic elite. If Hillary Clinton can get away with running her own server, why shouldn't you? Go to thepeoplesvoice.tv/IPv6 to sign up, or click the link below this video to take back control of the internet and win the info wars against the globalists. If you like our content, help support our sponsor IPv6ers and go to thepeoplesvoice.tv/IPv6 today. Thank you IPv6ers for making this video possible.